As the world talks about a possible two-state solution in Israel, more and more are advocating that precise solution here in the increasingly disunited states. We're going to see the latest on who now is advocating a national divorce, why it's happening, and what it all means for the future of our nation. You're not going to want to miss this. Hey, gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot professor, here to help you to think better so you can feel better in these crazy and turbulent and insane times. So make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Also, if you would, please share this video with friends and family. We are, once again, being throttled by big tech, so we need your help to get the hopeful message of this channel out to as many people as possible. America is increasingly being called two nations inside one country. The partisan divide between red states and blue states is growing ever wider, and the vitriolic hostility between the two ever deeper. But while the woke left that makes up our lamestream media laughed away Marjorie Taylor Greene's recent call for a national divorce, a new poll that just came out is embarrassingly silencing those pathetic cackles. In a recent survey conducted by the Center for Politics at the University of Virginia of over 2,000 voters, an astonishing 31% of self-identified Biden supporters, 1 in 3, want blue states to secede from the United States to form their own country. Now, this study evidences a dramatic increase among Democrats for secession from a similar study conducted several months back by Axios, which found that only about 16% of Democrats favored a national divorce. If both studies sustained scrutiny, this year alone saw a doubling in secession support among Biden voters. Now, what's so fascinating is that this is happening at the very same time we're seeing a surge in support for what's known as county secession, where more and more rural counties in blue states are deciding that they want to redraw their state lines to subsume themselves under neighboring red states, or some are even considering forming entirely new states of their own. Now, we've, of course, been tracking very closely with what's called the Greater Idaho Movement, where thus far 12 counties and counting in eastern Oregon have voted to secede from Antifa-ridden Portland with the hopes of joining up with their neighboring red state Idaho. Several more counties are scheduled to hold similar votes in the near future, which means that all told, we're talking half of Oregon's counties, half, are preparing to secede from their state and join up in some way, shape, or form with deep red Idaho. And the Idaho legislature is all for it. But nothing compares to what we're seeing actually in the ultra blue state of Illinois. 27 counties there have already passed pro-secessionist referendums. Some state lawmakers have even proposed bills to separate Chicago and its surrounding Cook County from the rest of the state. We could go on and on. Maryland counties want to join up with deep red West Virginia. And in California, San Bernardino County has recently voted to study the process and prospects involved in seceding from their increasingly failed state. So as you can see, this propensity towards national divorce goes way beyond just red state, blue state dynamics. It's happening at the county level as well. So what's really going on here? Why are we becoming so divided? And why do more and more believe that secession is the only solution? Well, if you want to be on the front lines of what's really going on here, I want to invite you to join me at this year's TexCon. That's right. From November 9th to 12th, my team and I will be joining thousands of patriots in Waco, Texas, for a week of celebrating faith, family, and freedom in a movement that promises to be an arc for patriots if things go awry for us in 2024. I'll be doing a live meet and greet for my Insiders Club members at this year's conference, and I hope to see as many Texas Turley talkers as possible. Let's set a new attendance record and show the rhinos and woke demons in D.C. that patriots have had enough, and we're going to preserve a society of faith, family, and freedom one way or another. Click on that link in the description below to get your tickets now, and I'll see you all in Waco. What we have to understand is that our current political and cultural crisis is not a partisan clash over this issue or that issue, this bill or that bill, this political position or that political position. No, the clash that we're experiencing right now is not over something within society. It's a clash over the very nature of society itself. It's a clash between two fundamentally incompatible visions of life: globalist versus nationalist, secular versus post-secular, modern versus postmodern, materialist versus post-materialist. There are various ways and models in which scholars try to make some sense of this incompatibility, but what all the models boil down to is that the clash we're experiencing in our politics is not something within politics. Rather, it's a clash over politics itself, over the very nature of politics. For example, we're not clashing over whether this or that election was fair. We're clashing over the very nature of what a free and fair election actually is. We're not clashing over whether what the Justice Department did here or there was right or wrong. We're clashing over the very legality of the Justice Department itself. Or think about how proponents of CRT and BLM are arguing. Our clash isn't this or that event in America. It's a clash over what it actually means to be American. So what all this means is that we're currently experiencing, in Samuel Huntington's terms, we're experiencing a clash of civilizations within our country. I'll say that again because I think it's so key. We're experiencing a kind of clash of civilizations from within our own country, two irreconcilable nations in a single country. And this is why everything today is political and polarizing. Even kindergarten, for God's sakes. Kindergarten today is pronouns are controversial. Everything is political and polarizing, literally everything, because the clash is civilizational, which by definition involves everything. And so in light of this larger context, unless Trump and the MAGA movement can effectively institute a renewed civic nationalism that effectively defeats the progressive liberal norms of globalism that our permanent political class is so desperately trying to hold on to, I think inevitably our nation is going to, in some way, shape, or form, split apart. The prospects for a national divorce are very, very real. And what happens in 2024 may decisively determine what happens next. Hey gang, I know what it's like to feel alone out there in these turbulent times, but I broke free. If you too have been looking for a community with like-minded patriots who are serious about resisting globalism, building a parallel economy, and having intelligent and deep fellowship on a regular basis, then you've come to the right place. In my Courageous Patriot Insiders community, we're building a close-knit movement of, by, and for patriots who are breaking free from the outrage and despair cycles of the mainstream media and taking on the fight against globalism. Every week, I deep dive into the content I can't share on big tech and give you the cliff notes on the truth of how patriots just like you are building up their communities, starting patriot businesses, and fighting the woke in both public and private. All with a few history and political lessons from yours truly, of course. If you want to stop feeling alone as a patriot and stand together with this fast-growing community, be sure to click on the link in the description below. Don't wait. Join me and my Patriot Coalition today, and let's get fighting.